Hello there! Welcome back to Charles Circle, and welcome back to Captain of Industry. This is part 3 of building an Electronics 2 Megafactory. In part 1, we laid out all of our logic and most of our buildings. In part 2, we built, as you can see, most of the complex, with the exception of some of the smelting and manufacturing at the end of the value chain. So today in part 3, we'll complete these last few buildings, and we'll finally see all of our efforts pay off, and 60 Electronics 2 should roll off the assembly line, if all goes according to plan. Now, completing these last few buildings will be a function of accumulating a few thousand construction parts, so that should give us, even though we have the complex making it, a little bit of downtime in the meanwhile, while we wait for those to pile up. So we'll use that time to do a bit of aesthetics work, paving, improving truck navigability throughout the complex, and improving some of the spaghetti pipe work, etc. I actually spent the last few days fending off a nasty cold, so apologies if you can hear it in my voice still. Personally, though, it's actually pretty entertaining coming back to this save file. This entire build concept came to me in like a cold medication-induced fever dream, and I somehow filmed episodes 1 and 2 in a single 5-hour recording session. So coming back to it a few days later, the whole thing's a bit hazy in my memory. So when I spent a few minutes taking stock here before turning the camera back on, I was a little concerned, but trying to reorient myself and remember what my Sudafed-addled mind was trying to accomplish, all things considered, pleasantly surprised. The layout works, right? It's a bit messy in a couple places, but we can tweak that over the course of the episode here, and functional is a great starting point. So, we're definitely a bit sketchy on coal and iron, I will say, just sort of looking more broadly at the base and the general position we're in. We've nearly flattened out our entire coal mine, of course, and started digging down into it. This works, we have the throughput, but we're gonna run out of this mine soon enough. And I think the same thing is largely true over here for iron as well, to the point where it's starting to impact our steel a little bit, which is why, it seems, we're massively in debt on steel. So, pleasant surprise, right? Total shock. But we have, obviously, we've talked about it a few times, our transition plan for solving both of those mines out this way. We've started the tracks, we can pull the trigger on that transition whenever we need to. So we're fine on that front. Power even looks fantastic. Of course, we set up, a pair of extra turbines that should more than cover the additional draw that all of these machines that we've added require. So I think we're in pretty good shape. We're hanging in there. So let's get cracking and bring this thing home. So, unpause. All right. So I think we're ready to start up here, right? Because we have some parts, let's just make sure that we're always spending something. And we'll probably just work our way right to left because this represents the flow of goods. And so there's no point turning anything on down here until all of this is on. So let's just start at this end. The other thing that I know we mentioned last time is that the glass production over here, I'm not entirely satisfied with, but I'm also not entirely sold that we need. We're gonna find out, because right now we're able to bring glass in. So we're gonna see if that is sufficient. Our poly is also rolling off, our silicon poly is rolling off the assembly lines, and as soon as we quickly build this lift here, it should also start piling up. So that's good. That system seems functional. Our trains are generally seeming to be working just fine. Our sand supply does not impress me yet, but we have a dedicated copper sand train coming out somewhere. There he is. Bringing over plenty of both. We'll monitor this balance as time goes by. And if we need to supplement with a little bit of excavating of sand locally, here, here, grinding some quartz, we certainly can do that too. I don't think it'll be too much of an issue. We generally should be using equal parts of both once this gets going. It may be we need to add a second train, but the ratios should be roughly the same, I think. So that's all good to see. Our coal train, I suppose, could get going again, given that we have plenty of trucks full of coal just sitting here. But I actually think, I was looking at this right before the camera came on, and I think we're going to consolidate these two big storages, because I don't like that the front of the station and the back of the station are kind of disconnected, right? If I bring coal in here on this train car, or any of the cars that unload at this train station, rather, it cannot cover the power, right? And vice versa. But it could absolutely be that we have like a full storage here and no ability to run the coal power. So I think what we'll do is delete these two, build one here, and then connect all four to the single input. It's not like we need two massive coal stores here either. So I'll do that real quick, and hopefully that should simplify things here as well. Of course, that's going to require the clearance of just an absolute ton of coal for the moment. And probably, I would imagine, we will need to clear out these lines as well to make a little bit more room for the new storage. But we'll let that take root with our trucks in a moment and start poking around for some other stuff to work on. So one of the things I'm not super sold on is our acid production here. It's a little awkward, right? The sulfur comes over here and then the acid goes right back around. The acid in both of these cases kind of has to come back in a different angle. I played around with trying to fit it here. Obviously that didn't work out as well as I'd like. But I think there's a way to do it. And I really want to, because I would like this to be drive-through-able. Navigable is the word for that. I think it'd be great if we could basically get one more of these right here, which we can do, as you can see, if we were to clear out this space. So we can fit it in here if we relocate. I just think it'd be a nice way to be able to sort of bisect the entire facility so you don't have to go all the way around. All right, so if we're gonna do that, well, let's sketch it out. What does that look like, right? Could we get our sulfur here and our mixer, I don't know, roughly in this area, and then move this out here? I think we can do it. We're gonna have to crush some of these pipes. The other thing we could do is put our sulfur a little bit more tucked away. It needs to be accessible by truck. That's the thing. It has to be. Because this is a buffer system, we need to be able to both deliver to if there's not enough and remove if there's too much, because of the variable production of sulfur here and the consumption here. So if there's a way to get our sulfur accessible to the road and also get our acid production over here, I would feel better about it. Might even use this space, but spoiler alert, one of the other things I'd like to move, if we end up building it, would be the glass mix over here. So I'm gonna go to a tiny little time lapse, presumably, and I'll make those changes and finish the coal real quick. Be right back. All right, hey folks, so trying something new here. I'm not going to time-lapse everything, maybe. I'm gonna try in a few select spaces where I don't think it's a particularly engaging or interesting time-lapse to just sort of cut ahead and show you the outcome. Part of that is, it's top of mind because like the last couple episodes had a lot of time-lapsing and our builds are only gonna get bigger over time. So I'm trying to get out ahead of this and see if we can find a good happy medium. Because I want you to be able to see, the process of how we build. I think that's important to show sort of the iterative nature and, take away the idea that like, oh, everything just kind of comes out fully baked as is. But at the same time, how much do you really want to see me like trying to thread a pipe 15 different ways until I finally settle on the last way? Wouldn't you just like to see how it looks at the end? So let me know in the comments what you prefer, how you lean one way or the other. I'm going to try this sort of middle ground approach. If we're placing buildings, you're going to see it. But if it's just about sort of pipe work or belt work, I might skip over that and show you the outcome. So with that in mind, you didn't miss much in the way of runtime. The game has not really advanced hardly at all. I have simply made some adjustments around here, and a lot of it was sort of yeah, poking around, trying things, moving things, one tile this way, one tile that way. So again, not super engaging. But here's what we did. As discussed, wanted to sort of create this through movement here, and did manage to find a way to move the acid production over here. It required adjusting and rebuilding the exhaust setup. And as a result, there's still a few pipes we need to connect in there, but I figure as it's building, I can do that and sort of show it off because it's, it's done. The thinking part is done. The other thing that we did, right, is I was so irritated about this glass setup, right? There's just not a very good spot to bring together for glass mix, particularly salt, sand, and limestone, because salt's here, limestone's here, sand's here, and so that's why we went 2 out of 3 over this way. But then in order to make the actual glass, you have to throw in some coal too into the smelter, and coal's way the heck over here. And then we were running a very long line of the actual glass over here, not to mention an acid pipe to help with the sand mix. Driving me nuts. It was just not a good answer for it. And then I thought to myself, well, how are we bringing sand and coal together over here in this area? And then I went, well, shoot, those are our 2 highest volume pieces. It's a smelting area. We also have to dump the slag. Oh wait, the acid is actually coming over here for the electrolyzers anyway, and runs through here. Why don't we just, and this wasn't an option from the beginning because we didn't have this land bridge yet, but it's built, why don't we just slab it down here? Again, there's a non-zero chance we don't even need to build this because our existing glass work might keep up just fine. So I think we're going to leave it blueprinted over here instead for now, because look at all the stuff it allows us to delete. All of these random belts dragging little bits of sand and limestone all the way across the place. Like, this is huge improvement in my mind. So it does require, of course, we're still gonna have to bring the salt over. We're not gonna rebuild a distillation setup over here just for salt, but it's here, it's not far. We also make some over here, and we have a lot of it. So I think that's fine as far as compromises go. The other one that's probably a bit more meaningful is the limestone gets moved. But we have a pile of it over here. It's not that long of a run. I think I prefer a truck to do that every once in a while than to belt all the way over, but we can always come back to that if we need to. Okay, now we have so much more space back here. Look at this, so much more room for activities, which is good because this quartz is eventually going to need ground into sand as well. And that takes a decent amount of space over here, I would imagine, is where that will happen. So good news there. In the meanwhile, we are onto our 4th blast furnace. You can see some stuff already coming out here, which is nice. So I think that means it's probably time. Actually, let's let our exhaust scrubber finish building first. Let's get our infrastructure rebuilt real quick before we go to the next line of machines. So what do we still have yet to do on that front? All right, so part of why this was a eureka moment for me was that it was this area trying to cross all these pipes and lifts over this curved track that was driving me nuts. So we can clear out that as well, which is wonderful. And then this exhaust is only now for this boiler. No, that's not true, right? It has the other boiler's exhaust as well. Okay, no problem. That's still fine. But it makes it a lot simpler, and we may not even want to run it out here like this. This pipe is for the exhaust for all of these guys. This one is going to be a decently sized pipe that we are going to have to run. I think probably the full width here. But I'm looking at it and I'm wondering maybe we can snake it under here as well. If we adjust here, we could simply say, come up and over, and then we could run under as well, which would be nice. Keep this at height 2, I suppose. Kind of run it the whole length down here. I guess let's bring it. Just do this depth basically the whole way down, right? I suppose we'll have to go up over here. But now we can run through here. And there we go. That's exhaust for all of the smelters, including, potentially, the blast furnace as well. Okay. So that's those. I still want to get this exhaust, and then of course the water has to get set up too. But now I'm wondering if we might want... All right, so this is the water pipe, right? I suppose we could run the exhaust pipe underneath there as well. Maybe we should do that. Instead of running it all the heck the way around pillars. Well, and so here's another question. Chlorine. All right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna get all of these under here. So this comes out. This is getting deleted to here. This will come up out of the way. Like so. And then we'll say, it's actually not quite enough, is it? Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, so this comes out. In fact, you know what? In for a penny, in for a pound. Delete all this as well. All right, so we're gonna go 3 pipes under here. First will be square that up. First will be water. I'll take it on the inside track all the way through, connect it back up. This was already supposed to be water. It also splits off and feeds the mixer as well to make acid. Okay, water is set. Second one we'll do is exhaust. Now, exhaust, I think we'll need to bring, well, let's get it all marked up first. Yeah, unfortunately, we can't. This train track just prevents us here, which is slightly a bummer, I suppose, but really not the end of the world. We'll go to here and then dive under. And then this comes back around to be exhaust over. Here. A little wonky crisscross wise. How much do we care? A little bit, if I'm being honest. Really all we need to do here is So this is the water pipe, which means we just need the water pipe to go up and over a little bit sooner, and the exhaust pipe to go up and over a little bit later. That just is what it is, isn't it? Suppose we could do something like this. For exhaust, and then this for water, which actually, if we move it back one more tile, would allow us to clean up this as well, which is the mixer water. And that looks tidier now than it did before. Great. That works for me. But of course we need to reconnect. We said, oh, this inside pipe is water. I have it flipped, don't I? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. That's okay. We can just flip it here. Yeah, inside track is water, outside track should be water. We'll just do this and then connect this up. I would love to connect it back this way somehow. Seems like we won't be so lucky. I wonder, will this connect here? All right, well, at any rate, the water pipe can go. There we are. And then we also need to figure out the exhaust. Is the exhaust the steam low output? This is what this pipe represents, although I don't love it for that space either. I have another thought about this diesel pipe as well, by the way, which is that I hate it and I'd like to get rid of it. It seems a little bit silly to run diesel out here manually, but this train is not going to run very often. We just don't crush the limestone, and it's a really long way to run a pipe. So we're going to do a small diesel storage. It's just too much. It's just too much for the navigability of this system. It drives me nuts. Can't do it. Okay. So that gives us a little bit more room to play around here as well. I don't mind running it here. It's not so far, and it's for 2 higher volume trains. Speaking of which, maybe we should get you going again. I did let trucks bring a little bit here because we quick removed a bunch of coal to storage, so it's gone now. That's good. Probably worth getting that going. All right, still rough on construction parts. I like this little rig we built last time. But we do actually need some construction parts. 2, 3, 2, 2. Unit storage 3. Which means that this is a waste to Unity Boost. No worries. We have steel, that's good, because I think we owe a ton of it. Yeah, we owe like 500 steel a year. Because of the loan that we took. Worth doing. All right, this is now fully built, and if we have some construction parts 3 lying around, and we do, we should probably get started on some of that. Although these, I believe, are all 3s as well. 2s, excuse me, as well. But we'll let this section rip. We don't need this pipe yet. We need the pipe up to that section. But that's it. And then honestly, let's just go all the way through here, because these are also 2s, right? 1s even. So we'll let all that go. This is the extension for the acid if we do want to make the glass out here. Watch our population just get absolutely annihilated here. Hey, the other thing we can do, speaking of using population, let's go do some work out on the map. Okay, this is looking cleaner. I feel like we still have to run, yes, the steam low pipe out. I might run it under here as a result. I was saying I might run the chlorine pipe under, but that feels like a bit of an out and around. I don't know. I don't think it's necessary. It's a little cleaner looking. Oh, what the heck? What would it look like? It looks better. Fine. Consider it done. Well, actually, if I could just... I might take a small... ish parts 2 loan, just to get a few important things quick built here. We're gonna get, you know, a decent chunk of this back here anyway. This feels so much cleaner. All right, let's start paving too, because I want to do some fun stuff with that. So, more than just Broad Street, right? It would be cool to have... Oh, they just patched this, by the way. You can toggle whether or not you're going to turn on surfaces or structures when you're Unity building. Kind of neat. They have also done a little bit of work on the painting tools, which is also kind of neat. So I figured this was as good an excuse as any to try this out. But, I don't know. Now we have a roadway, right? How about that? Do a little bit more of this. I like it. Do you like it? Let's keep our... And you know what I actually want to do? The other thing they did in the patch. I was trying to build up a stockpile here so we could use these. The other thing they did in the patch, I'll just finish the thought while I'm here, is you can now upgrade storages in place, kinda. So what we can do is click here, and then it'll say hold shift to confirm replacement. Bam. And now this is getting built in place. Now the spacing on the inputs is wrong, so we're still gonna have to adjust the belts. It's like, you know, we don't have to delete and then bring back all the stuff that was in storage, so that's neat. It's something. I'm wondering, yeah, so we can't do it here, unfortunately, which would have been fun. We'll probably end up doing it for the glass as well here. I also want to, I'm not going to get pulled into it quite yet, but I want to redo some of this area as well. I know we did the industrial water main in a very haphazard way to get steel going. So we'll probably want to professionalize that a little bit as well. But yeah, so I think in this area, it would be nice to have also some paving. Call this a bit of a roadway, after all. Surely that'll crush our trucks and our concrete supply, but that's fine. That's what it's there for. Cool. All right. Love to get that one built. So yeah, we consolidated the coal as well, right? I don't know if it's the prettiest thing in the world, but this was more about a strategic thing. I don't want our coal to be unbalanced here or coming, you know, like weighed poorly. I don't want to have coal in one side of the train station and not the other, and for that to actually mean something for us strategically, which would be unnecessarily suboptimal, I think. All right. I think we just let this rip, see how it works, and if we need to make some adjustments, we can, but I think it should be okay. Cool. So that means that this can go as well. This long out and around. We really can't connect here. I would love if we could just connect here. It would make everything nice and straight. So sad. Alas. Fine. Oh, you're still clearing out the sand. Gotcha. All right, and then steam low out is what this pipe is supposed to represent. And so I think we will bring this around to here. Kind of wondering if we can do something a little bit more compelling with that. Probably not without going a little bit further out of the way than is strictly necessary. Fine. Functional again. There's still work that could be done cable management wise here, but I feel like it's just so much better visually already. So we'll take that. Could rotate this out this way, actually have one more ramp here, but they are moving, which is good. Okay, let's do some more fun with paving. Maybe we paint. So I kind of like having the one tile border, particularly up against the train tracks, right? So I don't know. How about this? And then the roadway is kind of funny length here. But I suppose we'll just, it looks better if we define. Actually, that's a good question. What did we do over here? So I liked how it looked pretty clean on our little demo. All right, so we actually have it lined up with the edge, which makes sense because you're not going to drive on that tile if that's where that starts. So fine, maybe we just extend and frankly, that also seems to make some sense visually with how our entrances and exits come through here on crossings. And that leaves us 3 tiles for a half roadway, which, yeah, that seemed like the right width. Cool, okay. I'm sold. I think that's gonna be my sort of default view. And let's just copy paste. Why reinvent the wheel? So, going through like so, I guess we'll leave it during a crossing, right? That feels right, I think. Yeah, heck, do it. Actually, I suppose probably don't do that. I think we would paint this entire corner hazard. But maybe that's a parking spot. You can also type place. Kinda neat. There's not like an actual parking logo, is there? No, not really. Okay. It's cool. I like the building blocks of this system. I'm sure they will come up with a bunch of additional stuff as well. Oh, that is an exhaust pipe that we need to complete as well. But let's get this back down onto the ground now, right next to the train tracks, so who cares? And in fact, I think we can just meet it up here. We'll see if that's enough throughput. I mean, it should be, right? These are low. That's their whole thing, is that they're lower exhaust. So 48, not boostable. It will always be 48 at most. And this is 3 times 60, 180. So actually, we probably do need more than a 200 pipe in this combined segment. That's also fine. All right, I guess we have to build this. This is coming along. Steel, naturally. But I think we can build all of these as well. All right, I'm really digging the little hazard thing. I might just keep pulling that all the way down here. Just say all of this is where the road ends and the factory begins. I am not a super aesthetically talented individual, but I do enjoy trying anyway. Oh, nope. Click, drag, let go. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I like that. I think that looks good. Have we gone through enough? Good, we actually have. Let's delete this. Quick remove. Pause so that you can be actually deconstructed. And then let's go here as well. Shift has been pressed, but then the other thing we need to do, oh, because you don't have the parts for it. Sure, sure. All right, well, I think we probably have enough parts too then. My goodness. Let's let our little recycling system get back to it. Blocked on full output. Yeah, this rock is not going fast enough because this is not going fast enough. We might need another one of these trains. I know we had one before and then got rid of it, but I think we need another one. Just gonna do it. Oh yeah, what did we get here? All right, so, oh, wow, this is great. So, uranium mine, fruit seeds, electronics 2 and 3. This is neat. These are important. So, fruit seeds. Fruits are an alternative to vegetables. And you have to go find them on the map, but you can make them in a farm as a flat alternative to vegetables. We have to research it first, but we found the seeds, which means we are allowed to research it. And then, I don't think it'll show up here yet, but it'll show up in this vitamins category as well. So just a way to sort of spread the vitamin demand off of vegetables a little bit, because boy, do we ever go through those. The other point is uranium, and a little bit of a teaser, but the first nuclear reactor we can build is not that far away. And the question is, all right, well, how do you get uranium? There's a little bit way over here on the map, and we could come out here and dig it, but a world mine that simply delivers it via a cargo ship is a nice alternative to have access to. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how we choose to do it, but it'll be nice to have access to that for sure. Man, we are feeling that lone, aren't we? That's all right. We needed to do it, so we did it. But yeah, this is, I mean, it's really, is it just the steel that we have missing? And then, of course, this entire section. But I think we're going to go ahead and pull it out of whatever storage we had it in. Get a few of it, at least. Still have the pops. It's pretty good. Low wheat. Oh, because we're full on potatoes. It's fine. I am not doing food micro right now. No one's starving. It's not a problem. Why does this pipe look different? Do we need to flush it? Seems fine. Very confused. Whatever, so be it. Alright, let's also maybe pave inside a little bit. Seems cool. See how this looks and decide how we want to paint it, but I would imagine we did the 2 tiles next to the railroad on the road. So that seems likely. And then in here, right, if I made a whole big point about having this space available to us to drive through, might as well make it a road. Ah, what the heck. It's one more cement at this point. Although out here, I suppose it's definitely going to be more hazard. Let's just say all of that. I don't know, I wish there was a way to go diagonal to match the tracks a little bit better, but here's what it is, I suppose. All of this. All of this. Yeah, it definitely looks awkward. Well, this is a combination of I'm learning and these are new tools, but I like it in general. I think this is cool. The other thing we can do too is, let's see, where's a good spot to do this? Here. Watch this. Again, just right on the tiles. It's asymmetrical. It's gonna bother me. There. So we can label things, you know, in case we ever forget. Alright. Let's just wrap these up. Come on, folks. Alright, but this is good. Is this working? It is. It's very full because you have... Wow, we're making. Look at that. Got all the PCB and electronics one that we could need. It's time to finally build this. Exciting. So if we wanted to not do the machines, but just do the surface, bam, just like that. They don't have an exclamation mark? That's too bad. Yeah. I'll still take it. Can you... Just the paint job. Nice. You can just cut and paste like that, which is cool. All right, we're getting a little thumbs up emoji in there as well. Oh, thumbs down. Sad. There we go. So, zooming out a little bit, as this continues to fill in, right? Where are we sending this massive pile of electronics to? What are we using it in? Well, we're gonna have to get some of it back here, right? For construction parts. We have yet to decide exactly where we want to build the lab equipment, although we'll probably keep our labs in the same spot. We might bring it over, we might be able to fit that production in here. So we're probably gonna have to bring high volumes of this back downtown, which feels like a train to me. So we're probably going to end up with a train station. Maybe it's on this side and a train running this direction. We might even be able to run it out this way. The other thing that we'll end up doing, I think, is building some stuff off of this factory, right? As like a module for it. But as I look at everything here, it's all stuff we're probably either already making or going to make in the downtown area. So I bet we have an electronics 2 train in our future. Seems likely. I wish they'd prioritize over here. I think I'll tell them to. Kind of cleaning up here in general on these. How are our mines looking? This is still fine. Also still fine. Good. This is filling in a little bit. That's okay. We're keeping up out here. Sand and copper are full over here. Power is running beautifully, uninterrupted. We're looking good. Except we don't have any steel to repair Bertha. Ah, okay. So this is the other thing that this is my complaint about, well, it's neat that you can upgrade it in place, but the problem is they're structurally, they don't line up. So you have to remember to do this, or you jam up half of your production. Like we did over here too. Oh, is that even gonna work? Yeah, it will, it will, it will. Go, go, go. I'd like to do that for glass here as well. Thinking about that one though, I think we're probably gonna move this one over. Given the proximity to this little crossing, which we don't have to keep, but that I kind of want to keep. And I'll show you why in a second here. Well, I'll adjust this in a moment. I want to fix up how we're thinking about this water main. And so that's going to require me to adjust this positioning. I think probably just to here because I want to be able to get the pipe underneath. And in fact, this will be a big fella. This is intentionally going to be a long pipe 3. No, come on now. So, we want this to be basically infrastructure like this. We'd like it, I think, also to serve each of these too. So, for example, sure, right? We want to branch off here, and a 2 will be fine on that front. But we'd like to serve that one. This is going to cut down a bunch of truck trips, basically, right? This train station is not long for this world. Oh my god. Oh, for the love of... Okay. Right, so I sent this guy back in action. Let's get him out of the way for now. Let this guy go. But what we need is a second station, you know? Or a place to wait, at least, to allow the other guy through. So, and that's fine because I wanted to come out here anyway. Let's extend this one-way part of the system a little bit further out, which means we'll need to delete that and rebuild it. Oh no, don't do it like that, my goodness. It's kind of impressive that it was even capable of that. Beautiful. And then we'll need a crossing connector too. Oh yeah, because we have this toggle now. Right. Okay, and then out here, this is actually, we don't need a second station if we do this real quick. Is that right? I think it is. It might not be. Maybe this is what exclusive zones are for. Only one train maybe in here at a time. Because the issue is our other coal train is going to come through here as well. So in fact, I think this has to be exclusive too. Ooh, not through here though. Well, maybe through here. Let's see how badly that breaks everything. Yeah? Build all that as well. All right. The other end of this is this part of the water main, right? So I'd love to get this built. And I think we just bring this. Oh yeah, sort of this awkward exhaust balancer that we no longer really need. Pipe connector. Weird. Can we simply replace it? No, fine. No worries, we'll adjust. And there it is. Just need to fix transit there. And hey, while we're paving, and then this is where I'd also love to get some ramp work going as well. But we'll come back to this in a moment. I want to come back out here and see how we're doing on this. Bad, but we are still struggling on construction parts, which is officially a steel problem again. That is because coal, I'm quite sure, yeah, has been an issue, but it's getting better, hopefully. Did we fix things out here with that? Yeah, we have train traffic. I don't mind. Very fun problem to have. All right, it looks like this guy's running just fine. I don't know if the coal that we're producing is supplying both of these just fine, but we'll find out. As long as this shuttle continues to operate well, we will be just fine. Everything down here is not yet mission critical, and we have plenty of time to get it sorted before it becomes mission critical. Ooh, our painting is uneven. Guess this will be one of the next areas then. This looks very funny, the way that it is currently set up. I would love to get it back one more space. Are we doing it? It's going to require us to move some pipes too. I mean, we have to, right? Have to do it. And you know what? It's actually not that bad either. We'll just go like this. Shoot, we do have to do that at least. What do you think? 1. One, 2? Nope. No. See, this moves these things now too. Still getting used to it post-update. Alright, because what we can do from here is basically just, we want 3. We want to connect through, like, well, to there, really, but I guess we have to delete one more square. And then $10 it gets mad at us about pillar placement, right? That's gotta be what happens next. Come on now. You're supposed to clear out automatically. Alright, functional. Oh, and then that needs to go. I suppose this needs redrawn as well, but it's gonna have to cross under either way. Little squiggly, so be it. Fine. Okay. And that allows us to pave, I think, a little bit more aesthetically pleasing here. I mean, shoot, maybe we just do all of this with the hazards too, right? You are, what, full on dirt now? We'll get out of here. All right, come on, come on, come on. Oh, short on people finally. Okay. Well, we're out of steel to repair the ship anyway, so unload. So that's all the 3s we need. Time to shift our priority back to 2s. To pause this. And then, I mean, I think, I don't want to jinx it. But I think we're pretty close. Hey, our steel debt's almost gone. Nice. Think we could do another quick 500 here. Look at it go. Here we are. There they are. First ones rolling off the line. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It all pays off. It all pays off. Getting exactly what they need. 6 minutes. How's electronics looking? I do wonder about the copper throughput. 24 times 5 plus 3 times 5. Well, 3 plus 24 times 5, 27. It's still under 200. We should have enough copper. And it seems that that is the case. Everything seems to be running just fine, which is pretty cool. We'll have to make sure the plastic keeps coming in, but, well, our trucks are a little bit mad, but that's a fixable problem. This is it. This is what this system is supposed to look like. There it is. Out of our imaginations, out of our sketchbooks, and onto the map. I'm pretty pleased with it. I mean, you can see there's still a lot more paving work we want to get done, but it is working. It is working. And again, this is super important because these electronics too are going to be the foundation of our advanced manufacturing economy in the next phase of the game. So we are very pleased to see these working as well as they are. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, I think we will call it an episode there. And I think we'll call it a trilogy from there, actually. We will move on to figure out what we need to do next. But we'll do so with 60 electronics 2 per minute rolling out. So that's probably what we'll do next. Figure out what to use them for. Exciting stuff. Well, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed yourself. And if you did, make sure to come by for the next one too. But until then, bye-bye.